Prepare ye the way of the Lord.
Well, Chris, we're back together again.
We are.
And
Absolutely.
we have some amazing company here. We have here representatives from the Steinbach Arts Council. Is that the right way to pronounce this, David?
You got it, Steinbach, Manitoba.
This is quite the story. Chris, I probably know a little bit about it more than you do. But before we start, I suggest, David, could you just very briefly go across the panel here, these amazing people?
Absolutely. I am surrounded by amazing people. Nicolas Narváez, he is a local artist and one of our art instructors on the end.
Nico?
Winkler over here, he's one of our donors. He's a participant himself.
Wow.
In some of our programming, and he's got a bunch of kids in our programs. Nico, any kids in our programs?
Yeah, my wife.
And also his wife. So
Super.
Over, on the other end is Leslie Paulet. She's a local artist and a former board member.
Hi, Leslie.
To my side here is Michelle Hillyard. Michelle is our current past chair, but has chaired our board of directors for the last 3 years. And stuck with us and has lots of great plans to help us continue to grow. And my name is David Klassen. I'm the executive director here.
Thank you so much. And I guess I should just, first of all, because I can't see myself. Is my visage showing in the right place here? It is good, because we wouldn't want to miss that, would we, Chris?
Nope.
I guess there's a disclosure going on here. Michelle and I know each other from just over 30 years ago. She was in a rock opera that I produced in Gander, Newfoundland. And so it's through that connection that I came to find out about this. Michelle, it is so good to see you after all these years.
Yeah, you as well. It's great.
Off we go. Steinbach Arts Council. What is it all about? Just give us the elevator speech. What are you doing?
Sure. Why don't I take that question?
Yeah.
Arts Council, founded in 1979 to start a concert series that began to thrive, ran for 20 years or so. And in the later 1990s, we took over a part of a building in order to start running arts recreation programs and to create a bit of a gallery for local artists. From there, we began to grow and thrive. And in the last couple of years, we've developed a robust series of classes, workshops, exhibits, concert series, and we have an amazing team of 8 currently who help us make all of the magic happen and to create amazing impact in the community. We currently we have about 2,000 registrations annually in our classes and programs, and we do a whole bunch more that doesn't actually register into the database. So we make a great impact here in the community.
Okay. It's just an amazing story. And Michelle, perhaps I'll come to you next, and then Chris, you just bump it. Well, I know you will, whenever you feel the need. So Michelle, your role in this, give us a glimpse into what Steinbach itself is like. It's not a large community, is it?
No, it's not. There are about somewhere, there hasn't been a census in a while, but we're just under 20,000 residents. Now, we do serve the entire southeastern portion of Manitoba, and we have people from other smaller communities outside that also join in and participate in our programs here. Steinbach is it's a community. Like when I know that that's a very broad word, but when I moved here 18 years ago, within a couple of months, I felt a sense of belonging. And that is the overreaching thing that we do with everything that we provide here at the Steinbach Arts Council, that we want people to have a place where they feel comfortable and that they belong. And we have a great community that supports us very strongly.
Right on. Belonging. Well, probably one of the most important concepts in our society at the moment, I would think, given the complexities and the lack of well-being that we see. I think that's just amazing. I'll ask one more. Nico, from your perspective, How have you benefited from this, and how has the community benefited from the opportunities that this thriving community presents?
Oh, it's been amazing. I moved to Manitoba in 2021, COVID times.
Ah,
Decided I'm gonna be an artist, and I actually did my first exhibit here at Steinbach, and I felt so welcome by Steinbach Art Council, and it, they asked me if I wanted to teach some art classes, and I didn't hesitate. I said yes, and it's been ever since. It's been great. I feel very welcome, very supportive.
yeah.
And I feel like I can provide that welcome and that support to the kids from the community.
Magic. Chris, anything resonating there with you?
Yeah, I'm still back at the introduction. 2000, like 2000.
20,000.
2,000.
2,000.
Soon to be 20,000. That's the thing.
Yes, 820.
Okay, capacity, yeah. But let's talk about COVID. Really did a number on lots of arts organizations. So that's kind of a point of inflection. And it seems like that was a moment where you actually pushed forward. And so some thought, making those decisions were risky. What things did you do that helped to transform and to push forward to bring more people into the fold?
COVID was a really interesting time for us. We were going through a series of changes within the organization prior to COVID. I had just come on in a very specific concert production and development capacity. And then, of course, I didn't quite make it through my first season before COVID hit. So it really caused a massive redirection of many pieces of this puzzle. So COVID, the question was, are we going to let this stop us, or are we going to hold back, or are we going to strive to move forward? And I think the striving forward was the only option for us. We never gave ourselves an option to slow down. We actually sped up, and we worked much harder to bring the people in whatever way we could. Manitoba had a period. It was a grant that was offered to us. It was safe at home, and so what we applied for was money to run online programs, and we got the money, and we hit the road running. We did everything humanly possible to bring people and to make sure that they kept feeling connection. So for us, COVID was really difficult because nobody understood how the job was going to turn out, but we managed to do it. And as a result, when the numbers were reduced and we were able to open up normally again, we had stayed present in people's lives and in the media and just in our community in general, that immediately we felt once the permission was granted to come back into our building, people just flocked to us, and we saw our classes grow, and we decided that we would keep up with that growth no matter what.
Wow.
Yeah.
Wow. That was a great question, Chris. Yeah, I hadn't twigged with that, all of this happening during COVID. Leslie, I just building on Michelle's reflection about the importance of belonging. There's nothing more important for me than a community who understands that deeply, because it had a profound impact on the well-being of the community. Can you speak to that a little bit from your perspective, or what you've seen, what you've observed?
Yeah, I mean, I've had a couple different interactions with the Steinbach Arts Council. The first was when I did my first exhibit here as an artist. My kids had taken programming here, but I really didn't. I got to experience the staff here and how supportive everybody was when I came in. As an artist, it's very intimidating to showcase your work. So it was an intimidating time for me, but the support and direction I received from all the staff here was amazing. And coming from that, I was able to meet other artists in the community that I otherwise wouldn't have met. As a painter, I like sitting in my little studio and being alone painting all day. So it really brought me out of my shell. Especially like Michelle, I moved here around the same time that she did. And I've gotten to know Michelle personally, and she really encouraged me to apply to do an exhibit. And David was so supportive when I brought in my art. And
Wow.
And then moving forward, I joined the board, and I was part of the board for 2 years.
Mm-hmm.
That really opened my eyes how much is being done here. When you're in your own, if you're a musician, you just think music. If you're art, you think art, but it's just such a wide range of programming, and they touch so many different aspects of art within the community that it brings people from different areas together, and it's been fabulous.
Absolutely.
Yeah, that's brilliant. And I love that connection between the arts. I think too often we tend to silo the arts and say, okay, you're in this. In what ways have you seen intentional efforts to help break down those silos and to commingle with the different arts?
Mm.
Well, great question. And a tough one, actually.
I look to you.
It's actually quite natural. My background is in classical music, so and my passion became operatic performance for a number of years in my life, and opera or staged musical theater of some sort is a true sense of collaboration between all of the disciplines. You've got artwork happening in your set design and in your costuming. You've got music is happening, certainly dance is happening, theater is happening. So it's a natural gateway to understanding collaboration and how you're all working together to build something quite spectacular. I do call opera a spectacle for a reason. It is quite spectacular. It's an amazing thing to see. And so when you look at an organization that appreciates and understands the part that every different discipline, every artist in their own right plays to build a stronger, balanced community. We talk about that sometimes between art and sports. We know that there's a necessity for both in community. We need to make sure that exists. But within the arts, we go even a little deeper, and we say we have to have the visual arts representation. We have to have the musicians represented, because we're all striving for something similar. We're all moving in the same direction. We all want to impact people, and there's strength in numbers and in collaboration. And so it really is. It's a natural way to bring people together, to hear people, and to understand their own interpretations of life and community.
Brings to mind that beautiful concept of sympathetic resonance in music and physics, and when that positivity starts to resonate within and across the different arts. There's Michelle, we experienced that in the rock operas all those years ago. There's something that's quite indescribably amazing. Chris, so you have a couple of points of entry here. You're a participant, or your kids are, but you're also a donor. Is that correct?
That's right. Yeah.
What drove that? Why did you think that this was a worthwhile cause, Chris?
Well, another entry point is that I'm a business owner here in Steinbach. So one of the things that's always been important to me is to find ways to invest and return to my community. I've found that the Steinbach Arts Council is a hub that can serve the whole community. It's one of the few that there would be. And David, to sport and to art, there's a couple of different avenues that you can go down for things like sponsoring. And that's kind of just how it started, was reaching out to David several years ago to say, I want to know how I can add some value to your organization and through that to the community. And what that turned into was a deeply important friendship. And I would say a life-changing invitation to participate myself in musical theater a couple of years back. And that opened my eyes to the personal impact that it could have. It started off with, well, my children are in choirs and other programs here. I should plug in with my money. And then David said, well, that's nice, but it's probably not good enough. We probably should get your face here, your mind here, your heart here. And he was correct.
That's amazing. Now it begs the question, Chris. What's the question? Have you got one to follow up there?
I do. The question is this: is that in order for organizations, like I'm fascinated by systems that flourish.
Yeah.
And I look at it and I say, what's the condition that's making that happen?
Yeah.
And I can see it with the five of you right now that there's mutual respect and you know what I mean, like appreciation. In what ways do you work together and with your other partners so that they feel seen and valued and heard?
Yeah.
I think for me, I'm a relationships based person as it is, and so I will usually lead like Chris sort of suggested. I usually lead with understanding how a person can be plugged in and what their values are, where they feel that they can contribute and really come more alive through their interaction here. So when I reach out to potential sponsors, I usually begin by addressing their own values and what they want to accomplish by partnering with me, if that is what is to happen. So from the very beginning, it's about building a relationship and helping them accomplish something just as much as it is helping this organization accomplish something. We have a very strong team here. They are essentially the team that I began with when I took on the role of executive director in 2022. They're becoming long-term staff, and I think for them similarly, it's about understanding what will make them feel valued and how can I empower them to accomplish the work that they feel that they need to accomplish. When you feel like you can invest, you want to stay and you want to continue to strive for excellence, and I think that is the grounding for the work that we do here, establishing how people can thrive in their own lives by contributing here.
Chris, that was a brilliant question, which I wasn't expecting from you, quite honestly. So no, it really was. It gets to the heart of the matter. How do you set up the conditions where people are valued? Any of the other who want to speak to that one before I come back to the other Chris and do a follow up with him? Anybody else want to come in on that? Because I think it's a really pivotal question.
So I would say, like, from a board perspective, that we're a governance board, and I guess one of the things that we've really been focused on is getting the message out to as many people in the community as we possibly can. Yeah. Sometimes that's just motivating our own networks or inviting people into some of our fundraising events so that they can come and see what we're actually doing. And then we're not just asking people for money, we're asking them to partner with us and become a part of us and something that they can really feel good about. And I think that we have a lot of people who are, asking us, what can we do? What do you need? And, when you have that, it makes things a lot easier to get, to really get people on board. And, from my perspective, I had done classes here. My children had done classes here. I was involved in the dance thing in Manitoba because my daughter was very involved in dance. I got on the board, I didn't understand how many different things we did here and how people we really reach, like, every week, any evening or even in the middle of the day when you come into the parking lot of this building, it's full. There are children in here all the time. There's music playing. You may be able to hear some hammering in the background because we're continually doing some sort of renovation in here, but yeah, it's just a really good thing to be a part of. And
yeah. Chris, anything else? Anybody else want to make a comment on that idea of, I guess, well-being through recognizing and valuing people?
Well, if I might, I just want to agree with you guys and also say how amazing these people are.
Huh.
There's a positive energy, makes you want to be part of the community.
Yeah.
Makes you want to do what they are doing. I'm like Chris, I want to contribute. I want to be part of it. I might not be a business owner, but I can, I can contribute with my art, with my art instructor abilities. So it's that kind of energy that I admire the most.
Magic. Huh. Okay, back to you, Chris. I got to ask the question that I thought the other Chris was going to ask. What part did you play, and in what musical theatre? And you do know we may be going after a bit of a performance here, but let's start with the.
I'm not shy. Well, the first musical that we did as a community after COVID allowed us to open back up was Godspell.
Oh, wow. Oh, serious stuff.
Yeah, it was very fun. And I was blessed with the opportunity to reprise my role as Judas, because I'd done the same role actually when I did the same show in high school.
Oh,
So
wow.
it's actually a really funny story. Yeah.
That's fantastic. Good for you.
Yeah.
Wow. Yeah, there's something about it. Yeah. Chris, go ahead.
Well, there's no tuba part in that, so I'm not too Hey, let's talk for a moment about this, and that is equity, right? Access, finding ways to get to the margins to make sure that you're reaching as many kids as possible. In what ways? What can you teach us and help others that are in this same work? What are you doing to help ensure that you're getting as many students the access as possible?
Sure. So I suppose my first response would be I would like to go back all the way to an earlier question about the sense of belonging. A number of years ago, we revisited our mission, vision, values, and belonging emerged as one of our strongest values. Belonging is something that we were dedicated to from the minute that word presented itself, dedicated to making sure that no matter what, everyone who walked into this space felt like they somehow were a part of what was happening here. And I think that sort of rippled out over the years. There were projects. We did run a free after-school arts program, and that began already in 2018. We were getting that up on its feet, something to offer kids grades 5 to 12 an opportunity to try things out. And that was so popular, and it was received so well by the community that we continued going down that path. So what we found was if we could give people an opportunity, an easy yes, to come on into this building, I mean, what better marketing is a free programming, and to say, get a taste of what it is that we're doing. That has evolved to include seniors programming and several different bursary streams. Now, we continue to work to build those bursaries up so that we don't have to manage the amount of money we give away. But at the same time, I think that it's worked out very well. We've actually never had to ask the question, do we give this money or not? We've always had enough. We have that mentality where we say it's important for us to give. It's important for us to make these programs accessible. And if we overextend ourselves, we will take the responsibility to fix that problem later on. But the most important thing is to make sure that somebody feels that without barriers, they can come into this building, participate, and feel like a part of a community without any judgment or any barrier holding them back. So if you're committed to that mentality, I think you'll make it work no matter what. And you'll come up with more ideas, more generosity, and more ways to give back to the community. That's only an attractive thing for sponsors and supporters and donors. They love to see that. So we keep our prices extremely low. We don't allow stigma of affordability to be a thing here. No matter who you are or where you come from, this is the price. We work hard to make sure that price is available to everyone. And if price isn't, or if just money at all is an issue, then there's a free option,
Mm.
and we make sure we open the doors to allow people to come to us and let us know when they need more. And that's been a mentality that we've carried throughout my entire time here, and it's actually resulted in some very fruitful programming that continue to grow.
In the few minutes that we have left, I think you've sort of already partially answered this or fully answered it. This is such an inspirational program, whatever you want to call it, that you've got on the go in Steinbach. What do you think other communities can learn from this? What can this modeling sort of inspire them to do? Can I start maybe with you, Leslie? What do you think that's most spoken to you about this?
I think it's like for myself personally, who's a bit of an introvert, it really shows how impactful it can be on your life if you get involved. You know, you talk about teaching kids, like, you know, and with Nico teaching the young kids, like they're going to grow up with that love of the arts, like whatever that art is, and that will want them to become involved as adults. So it will grow and grow. You know, it's been very enlightening to me just to get to know so many people that are very inspired by what they do. And like Nico said, when you see that, it makes you want to do more, and that will just spread. It will spread through the community and beyond, and they're doing it. They're definitely doing it. So
magic. Anyone else want to jump in the few minutes that we have left on that? What can other people learn from this?
Yeah, actually, I think I have a thought about that. This might be a bit of a broader, general concept, but one of the ways that communities flourish, it's not just something that happens, it's something that people have to decide to do. And so it's intentional. And as time elapses, we have opportunities to do things so that those that come after us will be able to enjoy the fruit of it. We can all relate to a certain amount of sacrifice. Many of us in our region come from families that may still have people that came from the old country, and that was sacrifice to move here from a comfortable or familiar place. You know, others have can relate to people who've had family that have served in the wars. And one of the ways that we can have privilege of sacrificing now is by building something that's better for the people that'll come after us. And if we can do that in a way that's joyful and we get to actually enjoy that experience, well, what a tremendous privilege that is for us. So that perspective is something that drives not just me, but I think there's actually maybe unconsciously, maybe not that thoughtfully thinking about it, but there's probably many people that are serving in this organization that see that future as something to work towards. And there are important things happening here in Steinbach. We want to make sure that we guide those in the right direction.
Beautiful. Chris, 2 minutes left. Do you have any reflections on this?
I do. You're all beautiful people
Yeah.
doing amazing work.
Yeah.
And it was just so eloquently said, Chris. I mean,
Yeah, it was.
yeah, I took notes. It was because you're right. It's I think that's part of all of our legacy, right? Is to try to build something that others and that the future can use and can work off of. And you're all doing that. You can just tell you're living your mission and vision. You can see it in everything you're doing. I would just encourage people to learn from you and to hop on your website and get engaged and build off of your momentum to help others.
Awesome.
That's fantastic. Thanks so much, Chris, for that wrap up. I just want to say you are inspirational. And I hope this little episode goes out to a lot of people, and I would love, or we would love, to do a follow-up with you at some point. And it's the last thing I would say is, Chris, I've forgotten how the melody goes to the Judas part in Godspell. I don't suppose you'd just give us a little glimpse into that.
Well, there's a couple, but
Okay.
I can give you a start.
Go on.
Prepare ye
The
the
way of the... Oh, beautiful. Yeah. Yeah.
Prepare ye the way of the Lord.
Well, that is magic. Well done. Oh, that's fantastic. Listen, everybody, thank you so much. Chris Gleason, thank you very much for participating with me in this.
Thanks for having us.
You're very welcome. We'll be in touch soon.
Sounds
Bye,
good.
everybody.
Bye-bye.